tax office needs to lift on the vibes. I don't know if this is a good time to tell you guys this, but I paid for myself. I didn't use the work card. Did you guys both use the work card? I threw my engagement ring off
into the drain and said, Charles, take me now.
That was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
Should we bring out our own dip? Toni and Ryan dip.
Hello and welcome to the Toni and Ryan podcast. My name is Toni. This is Ryan.
Yep.
My little bestie.
Oh, little bestie. Well, there's three besties today.
Three besties. Kimber 3.
Kimber 3.
Because we never start the episode without a Tarper approval. And we've got Kimber 3 on the phone.
Kimber 3 from Ericsson in Canada. Now, what's your dog trying to learn at the moment, Kimberly? Not a euphemism.
Not yet. I have a Springer Spaniel, and he has lived his life training to be a bird hunter. Oh. And he's great in practice. He loves to swim. His tail is wagging. He's so happy. But then he goes out in real life and he falls asleep on the job.
Oh, that's
every
like
time.
Me.
They call that a Toni Lodge here in Australia. Yeah,
they do.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
He's pulled a Toni.
That's what I'll start to coin it as.
Yeah, I would.
A little bit better, but I'm just convinced he gets in the protective jacket and it's too cozy and he just knocks right out.
We're like that.
So funny.
We're currently wearing our Toni and Ryan hoodies to do this approval, and they are a little bit too warm. Yeah. And both of us are on the job, supposedly, and we probably
thinking about curling up.
Yeah. So we get it. We get it.
Yeah,
relatable.
I'm surprised you're still awake. Actually,
yeah,
me too.
Same. Kimberly, will you approve today's episode?
I'd be delighted to.
Yay!
Legends.
Thanks, Kimber 3.
Hi, it's Kim from Ericsson in Canada, and I approve this podcast.
Now we're all happy and excited and feeling a good vibe because it is our final episode on the road. We are on YouTube today, but there is
Hang
a bit.
on, I've made a mistake here.
Oh, Tony, sorry.
Sorry.
Come
Sorry,
on,
hang
mate.
on,
Get it
hang
together.
on.
We don't have much time. See how this sun is hitting my shoulder? I reckon we've got 20. I reckon we've got 25.
I fucking knocked myself out.
Jesus Christ. I reckon we've got 25 minutes before that sun in that sky gets onto my head. And then I'm going to look like the chosen one. I'm going to look like the chosen one.
We got 25 minutes.
There is some weird tension in the room, though, that I want to address just to get it out there.
Yeah.
Is that
Sexual tension.
Yesterday we were in the pool and Toni goes, guys, look at this. I'm going to do a handstand. Phenomenal.
Thank you for saying that.
Your form doing a handstand in the pool was like a ballerina or an angel. A angel is, I think, what they're saying. But it was stunning.
I really appreciate that.
And then when a friend says, check out my form, my handstand, the obvious thing I go, oh, well, I'll do one.
Yeah.
And then I did I'm not as good as Toni, and I was like legs akimbo, fucking, it was all over the place. It didn't feel like a good handstand. And then I came back up and
I said,
Toni and Charles looked like they'd seen a ghost.
And Ryan goes, oh, I didn't do that bad.
Yeah,
I know
it wasn't my best, but do you remember the question you asked?
And I said, are you wearing underwear under your board shorts?
No, the board shorts are what you wear.
Yeah.
The little shorts. So Charles and Toni then both said that they'd seen my balls.
I said, you said, have you seen my balls? And I said, we did. And then you went, oh no. And then Charles said, don't worry, it's not the first time I've seen it.
That was not what I was expecting.
From when you were wearing your budgie smugglers in the office and the side of your ball sack popped out.
Yeah. I think if there's one angle.
Fuck. Hey, Charles, quick check-in. Do you think that you're going to continue working with us?
Your probation's coming up.
It is coming up. Will I pass?
Will we pass is more what I'm worried
will
about.
Charles continue to keep going? Decide to keep going?
This is not me worrying that we're not going to keep you. This is us wondering if you want to stay.
It's a one-way battle.
Yeah.
Don't answer that on the pod.
Or at all.
Yeah. My DMs are open.
Oh no, the sun's coming.
There's one angle that you don't want people to see your balls from, and that's when you're upside down and they're laying back on your person.
They had scooped forward, like when
So it's more like I don't want to say the word on the internet, but
when you use a net. Who's a net? To scoop something out of a pool or a pond or something. And then when you put it back down upside down, it kind of goes like schlumps over.
It's
Your
funny
balls
you
were schlumped. They'd been schlumped. And it sounds about as good as it looked.
I've got an official list of the
Of
bogus...
the times we've seen Ryan's balls.
Top 5 countdown.
Today's is actually a clip show. So
Here's the official list of bogus shit Australians have tried to claim on tax.
unreal.
And the ATO has busted them. And let this be a warning to all of you who might want to claim personal travel expenses as work expenses.
So Charles's hand job is out the window.
Listen to Wednesday's episode for the details on Charles's expensive massage.
What about my shirt though? Oakberry?
We'll get to merch.
Oh, yeah, I need to know about merch.
Yeah. But let's start with the list here. One truck driver tried to claim Speedos as a work expense because, and I quote, "It was hot, and when we stop in transit, I like to go swimming." So if he's doing the Nullarbor or whatever,
Yeah.
he goes, "Oh, I'm stopping in this little watering hole, little lagoon."
Oh.
That's a work trip.
Well, yeah. Like, is everything that you have to buy while away claimable, though? Or is...
No, if it is what the ATO, which is the Australian Tax Office, would describe as personal in nature. That's sort of
Sure.
their like legal catch-all term.
But if I was at home, I'd already have bathers.
Well, pack them.
Oh, whose side are you on?
You need them to do your job, or if
Well, I can't work if I'm hot.
or the only time with clothes usually is like if it's a specific uniform.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
A mechanic has tried to claim an air fryer, a microwave, 2 vacuum cleaners, a television, and a gaming console.
Oh, Charles, I didn't know you were a mechanic.
Yeah. So he got busted and fined for that one. Now, this is the area that I think we might find interesting.
Okay.
A manager at a fashion retail store
Yep.
tried to claim $10,000 in luxury clothing and accessories, arguing being well presented at work and being able to attend events and dinners and
part of the
functions
gig.
is part of the job. Yeah. And the OTO was like, nah.
See, I find that one tough because, like, if that is part of your job to like look good,
Yeah.
or you know, be like well groomed or whatever.
Yep.
Like if you say you were like a nail tech or a like beauty therapist or something,
Yep.
you would probably want to make sure that your like eyebrows are always done, or your eyelashes or your nails or whatever. Is that then a work expense?
I don't believe so.
What about the outfits we wore to the Webbies? Because that was for work.
Ooh.
It was for, but it was not a uniform. That's where the word uniform.
But I couldn't have just worn my reggy jeans
But
and
the
a
thing
t-shirt.
is, you could have. Because think of a tax office.
Yeah.
Who are they to decide what you know, you don't want them making a call.
Tax office needs to lift on the vibes. I think that the ATO is like not vibing the vibes, and that is
No.
what they need to do more.
Yeah.
Because like, is it right or wrong? Yeah, but I don't believe that fashion's black and white. I think there's a lot
Facts.
of grey area, and I think that if the ATO went jumpsuit, slay, yes, you can claim it, bitch. You know, that would be awesome.
And Toni is up to be the new commissioner of the ATO.
People would be a lot happier if I was the
think so.
commissioner of the ATO.
There's this thing in football at the moment where there's this weird free kick that gets paid in a weird circumstance.
Yeah.
And all the players go, oh, if you'd play the game, you wouldn't penalise that because that's just vibes.
Oh,
like in that
got
moment,
you.
in that moment, you don't really have an option. And
Yeah.
like and there's like this, if you'd played, and they call it like game awareness. Like if you'd played, you'd be aware that that's okay.
Yeah. So, right, the ATO could be like, well, did you have to wear that outfit or buy something or whatever?
They need, not a sporting game, but just game awareness.
Yes, I agree,
Yep.
100%. Because the vibes, I couldn't wear this to the Webbies. I got laughed out of there.
Yeah. Or do you reckon, not that I'm not supporting this,
Mm.
but I reckon if you're dressed down at the Webbies, they're like, oh, she just like doesn't give a fuck.
Totally.
And it'd almost be a power move.
It's like when you see like someone, well, anywhere now these days, like you're in LA, right? You don't know if people are like billionaires or not,
Yeah.
based on what they're wearing. Because there's people walking around in Gucci clothes that probably have less money than you in your fucking tracksuit pants.
What's wrong with these tracksuit pants?
Like you, like the, you know, like... You know,
Yeah,
when you like
yeah.
that classic, like the billionaire founder thing that wears like shit clothes or whatever.
Millionaires dressed like millionaires and billionaires dressed like they're homeless.
Yeah, hot.
A guy in Australia who runs a bunch of laundromats has tried to claim a $30,000 international trip, including a safari, as he washed his clothes while he was away and said he was doing international research on how other regions of the world do laundry.
They should have just given that to him because it's so bold.
And creative.
Yeah, that
You
is very creative.
That doesn't pass the vibe test, but I appreciate the effort.
He goes, I'm on the tools overseas.
Yeah.
Small thing though. Let's get into laundromats.
Laundromat's where it's at. It's a cash business. Everyone
That
needs clean
sounds
clothes.
like
It's not going anywhere. Like, it's technology's not going to take over.
There's no app.
Yeah.
I think that we should fucking look that up.
Well, that's why we're into the car wash biz. Yeah,
Yeah.
same energy. Ainsley Clark, who's a tarper, said, I just got my tax return and I got more money back than I expected, and I used some of that to bump up to be a champion tarper.
Oh.
Paid for a year in advance and got the discount.
What'd you call me?
Got a discount for disc. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah.
Now, Tony,
Yes.
now that I have actually decided, because
Me too. Because I'm on your side 100% of the time, all the time.
that you are the new.
Commissioner of the ATO. Yes.
So there's three things here that I'd like you to deliberate on.
Yep.
On behalf of
Thank you
the team.
so much for using the word deliberate. Absolutely love it.
When we're in Toronto and went to Rogers Stadium,
Yeah.
Charles got
Who
a
the fuck is he, by the way?
Charles got a Blue Jays hat.
Yep.
I got that sick polo. What do you even call that? What I got?
Just amazing.
Just sick merch. Tony. So I got the shirt. Charles got the hat, and Tony was like, "Well, I won't be outdone. I'll get the shirt and the hat."
Yep. I love attention.
How are we writing this one off?
Well, we wore it in a video, isn't it?
Yep.
We also were talking to clients at that baseball game.
We were. Hopefully they'll advertise. Costs money to make money.
Shout out to Disney Plus Canada and Apple in Canada.
Apple, I believe the lady was from the headphones department.
One of them was from hardware and one of them was from Apple TV Plus.
So Apple TV and Disney Plus were in this. Was there like...
They were seated
separate,
separately.
yeah.
But chatting to clients.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And we wanted to fit in with the culture.
What
They
you
were
call
all wearing merch.
They were wearing
were
merch.
wearing merch.
And do you know what? It was actually a great conversation starter because you remember Carmine from Disney Plus.
Yep.
She was wearing that amazing baseball jacket
1992 World Champs.
because she's a huge fan of Blue Jays, goes to every game, never missed one.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't ask her about the players though.
But also, look at that knowledge we exchanged over a business meeting because of our shared interest in the Toronto Blue Jays. Shout out.
Sign it off. Well done.
Done.
Next on the list is the cost of going to the Turkish bathhouse in New York. And can I remind you that it was a bit more than we expected, so I'd love to write this one off.
I don't know if this is a good time to tell you guys this, but I paid for myself. I didn't use the work card.
Well,
Did you guys both use the work card?
For every-
Charles!
for every three people, there's always one dumb and she's over there.
I paid for...
You idiot.
Yeah, I paid for myself. I just thought that we would because how are you going to write that off?
Well, we didn't. To be fair, you didn't know at the time that you would become the commissioner of tax later in the week.
I didn't. I didn't know I would have this kind of power.
Yeah. So now that you know,
Oh, well, now I feel like a dumbo. Well, we had to be at our best. So the relaxation that we needed to experience to then continue on slaying on this work trip, which is a technical term.
Yep.
You know,
I get it.
I think that that's more than appropriate. But did you, because I didn't use the work card, I paid for myself. It was really expensive.
Yeah. So I've heard from the accountant, Nick, back at home. Finally, Toni and Charles are going to Disneyland after we finish recording this episode. I believe just as we were about to hit record, Toni went, I'm about an hour and a half away from wearing Mickey ears.
I did say that. Well,
And I'm going to be taking the bike from the Airbnb and riding from Venice to Santa Monica.
who's Santa Monica?
Yeah. Dun it. We've already played this song. You don't know what it is. All good. Continue.
On the Santa Monica Boulevard.
No.
The Santa Monica Boulevard is not at Santa Monica. Because do you remember when we were here for the meetup, I sang that song, people were like, hang on, so is it at Santa Monica Boulevard or in Santa Monica? They're not the same thing.
Where's Santa Monica Boulevard?
Like fucking...
Santa Monica Boulevard, I love fun.
No.
What's that song?
On the Santa Monica Boulevard.
Ah. Is that Alanis Morissette?
No. It's
Sheryl Crow.
adjacent. Yes.
They are adjacent.
They are. Yeah. Okay,
Hang on,
Disneyland.
Charles, do we have an update?
Where it is? Yeah, it's actually so far. Let me put it on the screen for you.
They're like not the same place.
Like there's Santa Monica.
and
There's the boulevard.
Yeah.
But look at it at the top there, just past West Hollywood. It's like
Oh.
yeah,
It's like a full thing.
No, but that goes to Santa Monica.
yeah, but that's not like where you go. Like
Because like the pier's going to be there.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Well,
so
that's where I'll be riding my bike this
back
afternoon.
to claiming
Disneyland.
Disneyland. Something crazy is going to happen, and we'll talk about it on the show. So
So are you saying, Commissioner of Tax,
I'm promising a personal.
if we... right, next week, keep that in mind.
yeah.
But are you saying anything we talk about on the show is a write-off?
See, I've thought about this before.
Because
Is
I've got a
that
great
true?
story about Porsches tomorrow.
I've told lots of great stories about my expensive dog. I've told lots of great stories about my house.
In a claim Pippa.
Does that all
How does
count?
Pippa print receipts? Pippa tells a funny story and
She
you
just
go...
farts it out?
Yeah, and you go, oh, can I get an invoice for that?
Yeah, could I get it? Make sure it says GST on it. Yeah, what is the law around that? As the commissioner,
Well, you tell us.
I'm going to say yes.
Great.
Hey, it's Kim from Erickson in Canada, and you're listening to Toni and Ryan.
A massive shout out to a few of our champion tappers over at our Patreon. All levels of Patreon. I almost said layers of Patreon. Oh, that made me really want dip.
I just thought of a 3-layered dip.
Oh,
Bean, cheese, and more cheese.
love dip.
Same.
Dip fucks.
Dip is so highly rated yet still underrated.
How can something be something that so many people know about, but it's still not big enough?
Yeah. We need more buzz about dip. Should we bring out our own dip? Toni and Ryan dip.
Dips and dips.
Dunk yourself into Toni and Ryan.
What would your, if you had to, like, the Ryan, what would the Ryan be?
Can you mix two dips that you like?
Yeah, this is the Ryan. You can do whatever you want, big boy.
It would be taramasalada and hummus, like some weird combination of chickpea and caviar.
Taramasalada, so underrated.
That's what I grew up on.
Oh, taramasalada is unreal.
Want to make a case of taramasalada disappear? Fucking sit it next to me with some Savoys. See ya. What about you?
I'm a fan of like a creamy dip, like, you know, like a cheese and chives, or like, you know, sometimes when you get the like caramelized onion and bacon kind of dip, like I love something like that.
Yep.
And I'm a big fan of a cob loaf. So I
Yeah.
think that the Tony Lodge dip would be a creamy dip in a cob loaf.
Where do we stand with what's the one that's like eggplanty but a bit smoky? Is that the baba ganoush?
Yes. Yeah, that's fucks.
I think I just love smoke.
So true.
Anything that's got a tinge of smoke, I'm like,
Yeah.
Pour it
yeah.
in.
I think like I'm also a fan, this might be along the same kind of line, but a roasted capsicum, like literally cut me open and just shove it up my ass.
well, if we're
If
going to
I
shove
cut
it.
me open, you don't
Yeah,
have
so
to.
yeah, you've got a pre-cut.
What you call me? Thanks to AJ. Good on you, AJ. Amanda Boyle. Love you, mate. Audrey, Good on ya. Aunt Fee, absolutely love to see it. Aunt Fee, thank you. Not my legal auntie, obviously,
No.
but just Aunt Fee. Alicia Oakes, good on you, Alicia. Derek Gaston, live it like Elon. Okay.
Sweet.
And Missia. Mikia.
Missia Barton.
Yeah. Do we have a for the car, or we're not talking about it? Not okay. Oh, so it's not a wink, it's not a smug, it's a half.
No, so last week we got that email.
Yep.
And I've just haven't got back yet.
Where it's time zone chat.
Yeah,
You
I
haven't
know.
found a good time to
Yeah, I've been too busy in saunas.
Disneyland, Baba Ganoush.
Taramasalada.
Should we get some fucking dip? Do you reckon they got dip at Disneyland?
Can I tell a secret? Can I
Always.
put off-air chat? If
Yeah.
we ordered some dip now, that would be our third Uber Eats order of the day, and it's barely midday.
Get over it.
Okay. It's
All
our
claimable on tax.
back in the studio on Monday. It's our final show on the road.
Woo!
Just want to go through a couple of notes, just
Yep.
because it's been a great trip. It has been a great trip, except for the scare.
It wasn't a
Everything going perfectly.
You're just like you're saying it wasn't. It was just a precaution.
Yeah. No, it was just me saying everything's gone great,
Yeah.
realizing we are still here.
Yeah.
And I don't want to jinx shit.
I did jinx us. Yep.
But there's something I've actually want to share, like some sad news for me personally. Because we were away, I actually couldn't do the Great Ocean Road Marathon. Which drunkenly at 5 a.m. last July I committed to and paid for. Yeah. Unfortunately, we were out of town. Did I go really hard hoping we'd get the Webbies just to avoid doing that run?
And I actually was
who's to say?
We'll be able to get home before that. And Ryan goes, we won't be able to because we'll have to go to LA also.
And Toronto, and we'll have to...
I was like, we could do that beforehand. Like,
No.
we'll do that on the way. Ryan goes, mate, nah.
And Lily, who works for us, said there's actually a running event in Venice while you're there, so you could do that one instead. And I said, no,
Yeah.
I am loyal to the Great Ocean Road.
Yeah.
So that's been a real...
For me, though, that's a highlight because...
I didn't have to do that shit run. Fucking thank Christ for that.
Nah, I cop a lot of shit from you for buying stuff and paying for stuff and then not doing it.
No. I wasn't able to.
So
I wasn't in town.
for
It's not
me,
like I was away
is the highlight of the trip.
It's not like I was
Thank you
there.
so much for asking.
It was not like I was there and decided
Thank you
not
for
to.
asking. It
I
is the
couldn't
highlight
do it for work
me.
purposes.
You don't have to listen to that. You listen to me. And that is a highlight for
I
me.
wanted you to go to Disneyland. So I
Fucking
sacrificed.
suck the other one.
I trained at least once in the 9 months leading up to that run.
How much activewear did you buy in the lead up to that
A lot.
one?
I bought new shoes.
Yep.
Three pairs of running shorts, lots of different t-shirts. And so I've got that Nike running shirt, which
Yeah.
feels embarrassing because I don't run.
Yeah.
I did that 5K as prep in Hobart.
And I absolutely love it for you. What I'm saying is...
No, I would have done it if not for you. I was like, Tony wants to go to Disneyland. I have to leave.
No, this is amazing for me. This is amazing because the next time you hang shit on me for not doing something, I go, how was that Great Ocean Road run, mate?
But the Great Ocean Road Marathon isn't sitting in my shed.
Hey, don't lash out. Don't lash out. It's all good.
So I just wanted to share that. One of the great...
Safe space.
One of the best things about that trip is not doing that run. And that's a highlight for me. Charles, have you had a highlight?
The highlight for me is definitely Whole Foods, and I wish we had Whole Foods back in Australia.
Yeah,
I am in love with it and just love it.
Yeah, that is true.
Like also the Ben and Jerry's. I bought Ben and Jerry's from Whole Foods in New York. It was delicious.
But we do have Ben and Jerry's in Australia. Very limited, or is it different and not the same? Because stuff is different, and that's
It is.
yeah.
I'm dairy free. I'm also nut free, and the Ben and Jerry's. Yeah, I know,
He
lame.
He is now.
And the Ben and Jerry's over in Australia only it has almond milk as the dairy free one. Where over here they've got multiple options, and they've got a coconut one.
Yeah.
Sorry, what does he is now mean?
I was moving on.
Jerry Free is now. I don't even get it.
It's because he's got no nut left because he went to the Jizz Festival in the Tony Lodge. Like, I don't have any nut left because I fucking put it into Lodge over there.
Redact that.
Redacted.
Redact that.
But you're right. The options and the choice and
Yeah.
the stuff is great. Sorry that someone rudely interrupted your highlight. Toni, any highlights from you?
Well, actually, this is a low light. Is that our council, while we've been away, had a green waste collection, and so Torbs has had to do all the yard work. So that it could get taken away in the green way.
Oh,
No! So I'm so sad.
no. Yeah. Oh, shame.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, poor bugger.
Poor guy, yeah.
So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to help with all the... I'm away for work, sweetie. Sorry.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
We haven't overdone it, but I think another highlight is we've done well on the merch.
Yeah.
I love my Blue Jays gear.
Me too.
Charles, what was the shirt that you got?
I've got an Oakberry shirt.
Oh, he's wearing it right now. Yeah, show that off to the camera. It looks good.
It's sick.
It is sick.
And that was just a cafe type thing down the road?
It's an acai place which is around the world, and now I've ticked off the US of eating an Oakberry. It's my favorite acai.
Sick. I've never
your
heard a
favourite
richer,
acai?
a richer sentence.
Yeah.
Of all the Asahi places,
Yeah.
that's my favourite.
Fucking hell.
Toni, we've done well in Toronto with the merch. You're off to Disneyland after this.
Yep.
Do I need to leave some room in the case?
Yeah,
How
I need
hard
to
are you
borrow
gonna
some money.
Yeah, how hard are you going to hit the Disney stand?
I think I'll probably buy, myself some ears.
Yeah.
Just because it'd be rude not to.
What if they had a sick jacket? You know?
Am I then Disney adult territory wearing Disney merch?
Yeah, but
do you
if-
feel me?
But if it's like...
Do you know what I would allow myself? If they have a sick Disney denim jacket,
Yeah, it's yeah.
I'm putting that in my basket. Yeah. Yeah. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
the
but if
Disney
it's-
merch.
But you know how a fun jacket is now...
Yeah. Or if they got vintage vibes.
Yeah.
It feels a bit different to just wearing a Minnie Mouse t-shirt.
Yeah, and you're not just decked head to toe in Disney. You're just I'm wearing my jeans and my shoes and I've got this sick Disney jacket. What
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, I
it's merch
reckon-
for Team Disney kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Which we are Team Disney.
How would I describe
Plus
that
in
sick
Canada.
jumper that I bought in New York? Because that's probably a merch highlight for me.
That was very... But that's not merch. That's
Well, it's merch of
streetwear.
the shop.
Well, it's every jumper there was screen printed by hand.
Yep.
So they're all one of a kind.
And they're
They
numbered?
all look a bit different and stuff.
Down at Pier 16 for those playing along at
It
home
was
in New York
called,
City.
what was it called? Snow milk?
Something like
Milk Snow or something? The guy, Jamie, who worked there, shout out, he
Yeah,
was
he's
fucking
a legend.
dope. It was right around the corner from Hamish and Andy's pub.
Yep.
Yeah.
So shout out. That was a great... we've done well in the merch stakes.
That's not merch. You've just bought clothes.
It was merch of the store.
Yeah. A highlight for me was the Webbies.
The Webbies.
That
Yep.
was so awesome.
It was so awesome.
We all looked so good and we had such a great time.
One thing that's escaped getting onto the show, but I think when I say this, you'll go, oh, that was a highlight of the trip. When we got to New York, Toni and I were busy getting hustled by taxi drivers that turns out weren't real taxi drivers. They weren't real Uber drivers.
Yeah.
They weren't Lyft or Lynx or fucking Otter.
If only
Didi.
someone had flagged it though before we got in the car.
So we're getting hustled.
If only someone had flagged that before they got in the car.
If we had have done the other way, we'd still be in that line. And I like getting hustled. It's part of the experience.
Is it?
Yeah.
We also, all three of us were squashed in the back of a Toyota Yaris
Yeah, with our bags.
with our bags.
But I think a highlight of the trip was seeing Lieutenant Charles
I went
hustle-
from 6 to midnight.
hustle the hustler. So they said, $80. And we went, okay. And then we get there and they're like, cool, 150. And me and Toni were like, oh, okay, that's a bit more than you said, but okay. And what happened, Toni?
We'll do 100 flat. Nothing flat about me or Ryan, let me tell you. Charles walks over and he goes, nope, that's not what you quoted us. You quoted us 80. And he said, no, I've got the screenshot here. I said 150. And we said, nope.
And Charles goes, I got my own screenshot because I saw you screenshotting.
Yep.
You're charging us for a comfort. We're in a fucking Toyota Yaris. That's not a comfort. It's actually this much, so you should be quite happy. And then tips included.
And Charles goes, 100 flat. And the guy goes, no. And Charles goes, 100 flat. And I threw my engagement ring off my fucking hand.
Yeah.
And I said,
Into the drain and said, Charles, take me now.
I said, Charles, we've only booked 2 rooms by accident. That was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. I would never in my life. And then afterwards, we said to Charles, like, fuck, that was amazing. And that's when he started to hyperventilate a little bit. And he went, I can't believe I just did that.
Yeah.
And he said,
We all had a moment. It happened, and then we got in time. We're like,
yeah. And we're like, oh my God. And he goes, I wouldn't have done it if our bags were still in the car.
But you're right. We had the bags out. We're already there. What's he going to do? Yeah.
Like,
drive us back to the airport?
Yeah.
Power play, dog.
And we actually paid him still more than they quoted us. So we didn't like fuck this guy over.
No.
But he was fully like, oh, these stupid tourists.
Yep.
Little did they know that we've got little pocket rocket Charlene in our fucking,
About to fucking lay it down.
Yeah. He's about to fucking butter the hell out of Mickey Mouse for me. I'm going to get that jacket for free.
Yeah. You wait till he puts his invoice to us for this trip.
I was going to say puts in. What's he putting in?
He goes, oh, guys, I worked because I was away for work. Here's the extra you owe me for this couple of weeks.
He goes, well, I actually saved you all that money on that taxi, so I would like the extra.
Yeah, I'll pop that in. I got to, you'll love to see it here.
Yeah.
We are in this Airbnb. If you're watching on YouTube, we are in an Airbnb in Venice Beach, Los Angeles.
It's stunning.
It's just so homely and nice. But my love to see it is Charles is in the pool house.
Yeah.
And I think we're on the OC. Now, people in America, like the OC got 3 seasons, got cancelled. I don't know if Americans understand the chokehold that the OC had on the Australian TV market.
It was absolutely, you couldn't buy...
If it was based on the ratings in Australia, it would have done 15 seasons.
Yeah. You couldn't buy a magazine without them being on the front.
Yep.
Every single ad on TV was like pushing to the next episode. Like it was enormous.
Huge. And I don't know if it was...
I had an OC phone case. Like...
Shit.
Yeah, on my Nokia fucking 3315.
Marissa, what's her name?
Marissa Cooper in the show.
But what's the actress? Anyway, she's on Neighbours now. That's how much Australia just like tried to claim her. Misha Barton.
I am so embarrassed that I couldn't remember that just then.
So because Charles is in the pool house, he's like Ryan.
He's like Ryan.
Because I've got a few greys.
He's a bad boy.
Yeah, he's a bad.
Are you Sandy?
I'm Sandy Cohen. And I think and that just leaves the smoking hot girl to be Rachel Bilson, Toni Lodge over here.
Oh, I'm Summer.
You're Summer. And you look and you have a summery vibe when you're in California because you're a hot California girl. So my love to see it is that we're the OC.
Who's Seth? We don't have a Seth.
There's only 3 of us.
Or a Kirsten, the mum. Sandy, though, he could get it.
And he will.
Yeah. Oh,
no, but you're my daughter in this.
No. I'm not your daughter. I'm fucking your son. Summer and Seth were in a relationship. And Sandy was Seth's...
Oh, so Rachel Bilson isn't...
Rachel Bilson was Seth's girlfriend.
You're Seth.
I'm Seth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because we're in the same house.
Well, yeah. I mean, Summer was there a lot, but yeah, I'll be Seth.
Okay.
Because he's so hot now, Adam Brody.
Isn't he?
Have you watched You Can't... Oh, yeah, we've talked about...
Yeah, I have seen... He's in this show in Florida called Startup, and he runs this, like, tech startup thing.
He's so hot.
That's a good show.
I've watched Nobody Wants This, like, 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, I just really like it. Just became a bit of a comfort show.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my love to see it. What about you?
I've got a you love to see it here, and it probably is an extension of a highlight from the trip, but I wouldn't be able to go without saying this. The other day, we were all sitting around talking and, like team building, like we're all kind of getting to know each other. It's really fun. And I said, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Charles said sushi, right? And Ryan goes, the thing about sushi is that, like, because it's a colder food, like sometimes it would be weather appropriate. And I said, yeah, and sometimes it wouldn't. Like after
you get home after a cold winter's day.
You don't really want a bit of sushi. And Ryan said, or on a really, really hot day, like, do you only want sushi, whatever. And and then I said, I think the only thing that I could eat every day would be, and Ryan and I at the exact same time said, sausage
and
sizzle.
Bread. Fuck yeah.
And I just thought that was the most beautiful moment
Hot
of
day
my
in
life.
summer, put it in. Cold day in winter,
Put it in again. Yep.
I just love the sausage.
And you can make it on the barbecue. You can make it inside if you
Yeah.
had to. Make it camping.
Yeah, put a little cheese on if you want. Don't if you don't want to.
A little bit of tea sauce.
or
All
barbecue,
good.
whatever you got to do. Butter that bread a little bit too
Yeah,
much.
or a little bit of cream cheese on the bottom, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Can we just have that for the rest of our life?
But I could. This is the whole thing. And we both said it at the exact same time. And we love a best friend test. And we didn't even know that we were walking into one. And then here we go.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
So that was my love to say it.
And I do love to see that. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah.
And
over the last 2 weeks.
Over the last 2 weeks. It's been really good. Obviously, the reason for the trip was the Webbies, and we couldn't have done the Webbies in multiple ways without you watching, listening, and voting and sharing your stories. So thank you so much. We're very, very appreciative, and we couldn't do this without you. So thanks. Charles is going home first class. Toni and I will be at the back of the plane, hoping that Charles will send some caviar
We
down.
actually have to share one seat.
Yeah.
One of us has to go to the toilet at each time.
No pressure, Toni. Are you aware of what Toni did? Charles?
I'm not, but I think that Charles probably wanted us to more casually mention this than reading the teleprompter.
Charles has put this on the
Do
screen.
a shout out for a Patreon vlog of Disneyland coming this weekend.
Is that from you, Charles, or from Toni?
Oh, looks like we can write it off after all. Love you so much. See you in Australia. Bye.
You have to do a vlog now.